Hi there, I'm Anna Kaban, brand ambassador for Balanced Body, and we are navigating through our new normal these days. Today, I'm coming to you from Los Angeles. However, our guest is coming to you all the way from Singapore. So let's welcome Audrey Dakota. Hi, Audrey.
Hello, hi there, hi everybody. Hi Anna, thank you for having me on this show.
Of course, tell us a little bit about yourself, Audrey.
So I am the studio owner of the Moving Body Singapore, and you can see this is my studio behind. And so far, at the moment, we're kind of still functioning, and we're about to go into a shutdown in a couple of days. Yeah.
Wow, that's so interesting. You're a few weeks behind us here in Los Angeles.
Yes, I mean, it's actually been like a very gradual shift towards going to a total shutdown. So I'm really quite thankful, like the way the government has actually organized everything in such a way that we've actually had time to get ready and to prepare. And like I think something that I've had the opportunity to do is to actually learn from the US, like how you guys have been transitioning the studio into online. It's something that I've had the opportunity and the privilege to have the time to actually prepare and get ready for this. So, yeah.
You're in a good position. So tell us, Audrey, how, I mean, maybe it's not affected you like it has me yet, but just given the situation in Singapore now, how are you navigating the fact that things are changing? You just told me the movie theaters have closed, right? And other big congregating areas like bars have closed. So I'm sure that causes some stress. It's unusual. How are you managing the stress and change personally?
The thing is, sometimes I've asked myself this question many times. Was it better that we just shut down totally and like, boom, there's nothing, you just have nothing to do. There's no decisions to make in the sense that you don't have a choice. You just gotta go with the flow. Or with the gradual shift in, okay, no movies, no bars, no entertainment. Okay, we're only gonna have 4 days of school. You have to try keeping your kids at home for 1 day. And then it's like we've got to scramble and reorganize work and our lives that are still going on and slowly shifting, making shifts towards a gradual shutdown. I wonder, I'm trying to weigh between which one is actually the better choice actually, because I found that when we had to gradually move to a shutdown, I had to make many important decisions that I felt sometimes wasn't the easiest thing to do as well. What I've done to actually manage my emotions, this emotional roller coaster, is I think I have to thank Deepak and Oprah. I've been doing a lot of their meditation every day, daily. It's one of the first things that I do. And also being grateful, gratitude. I have a gratitude journal that a good friend of mine, a good girlfriend of mine gave to me just last Christmas. And out of all this, I do find though that with gradually moving towards a shutdown, I begin to appreciate the important things, like, as long as I'm healthy, as long as my family is safe, and I actually have more time with my family, I'm just being grateful for a lot of things that, I get to appreciate right now. Yeah, so these are a couple of things. And actually just spending more time with my kids, I actually find that I'm learning a lot from them. Yeah.
They're very entertaining, certainly. I love your what you're doing though. I like to meditate as well, and we have the time now. Really, we do have plenty of time. You'll see very soon when you're stuck at home. So
Yes.
professionally, now you're saying you're gradually closing. You told me that next Tuesday you'll be closing. So professionally, maybe you can't speak to how much has changed yet, but what do you anticipate you'll do to help your clients once you do shut the studio?
So basically what we're going to transition into is offering a very small schedule of classes every week for clients to come in, and they can log in and they can do classes with us. They buy a small package of classes with us. And then also clients can actually start doing some private sessions. So what I've done with some of my private clients is I started asking them, hey, what kind of props do you have at home right now? Can you take a picture? What kind of mat? What kind of props? And then I started asking them, would you like me to like, get you some props at home so that you can use it during your private sessions? I started kind of sounding them out because some of my clients are actually elderly, and they already started staying home for a couple of weeks and I haven't seen them. And I took the opportunity to touch base and say, hey, how are you doing? Would you like to get some exercises at home? Show me what you have at home and I'll take some pictures, show me, and I'll think of what you need and give you some exercises. So that's basically what I started doing to try and get them started. And some of them already say that they want to start doing some privates next week. So that's how I'm transitioning into providing online classes. And we are actually taking the opportunity over the next few days, like if anybody wants anything, we'll buy it and we're going to try it. We actually have someone like a kind of delivery person who's going to deliver it to their homes. Yeah.
That's great. You were in a good position where you knew this was coming, right? And you could plan and kind of prepare your students. Some of us didn't know that. From one day to the next, shut your doors, it's over. So you're very fortunate. Do you have any tips you might share with our fellow instructors who are watching? They don't have to be related to teaching online or anything, but any tips, to help them get through this time?
I think that at this time, that it is very common that you're going to get a lot of opinions, very different opinions. And sometimes when you're trying to make a decision, like, okay, what am I going to do next? And everyone's kind of like giving you all these like, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Like, I know the WHO says this, but my client showed me this video that says that. And I'm like, I think it's most important to really listen to your inner voice and follow your instinct and do what feels right and kind of try and shut out the noise. I find that that's quite important. And in a way, the meditation has helped me a lot to kind of make sure that I know what my inner voice is and staying in touch with that. Yeah.
I absolutely agree with you. And again, having more time and having more stillness, more calm in this chaos, but there's a certain calm because there's less running around driving appointments. It's allowed me to ask myself, what do I really want? What's going great in my life and where is there room for improvement? And I'll take this time to make those changes. So I think you're right. We have to really listen to our inner voice.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, and I actually read something very interesting the other day that said that, sometimes something bad has to really happen for you to realize what is it that's most important to you, what is it in your life right now that actually you don't need and you need to get rid of. So I actually started thinking of it this way. It's like, it makes me realize, what I really want to do, because when you're kind of like shut down and you don't have the opportunity to do what you want to do and you don't have freedom, then you really realize, what is it that I really want to do if I had freedom? And I think that's another thing to take away from all this. That's really helped me understand, like, actually this is a lesson and I need to actually keep my eyes wide open to know what it is I want in life. Yeah.
Right. So even though it might seem like it's a curse right now and we're living through this horrible time, it's also kind of a blessing to let us open our eyes and make changes.
Yeah, because we are such creatures of habit, and sometimes there are things in our life or even studio policies, the way we run our businesses. I realized navigating through this and having to make so many gradual changes in my business that there were some policies in the way I run my business that I never wanted to touch them, because if there's nothing wrong with it, don't fix it. Because, it still works, right? But actually there's some things that are not very efficient because we don't want to confront it. So I think that this is a good time I realize that I have to make some changes now and I just have to tackle some really tough decisions. Yeah. So we're all creatures of habit and it's time for change.
Absolutely. There's an expression, you have to have a breakdown to have a breakthrough. So maybe this crisis is kind of our moment to break down and say, okay, what is it I want now?
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Yeah.
Cool. So tell me a little bit about Audrey. I don't know you at all. I was introduced to you, by a friend here, and I'm so glad that you're joining us. But tell us something that most people don't know about you.
Actually, I think in the last year or so, as my kids started getting older, I started realizing that I had so much to learn from them. It was really nice to see what they have to say when you know they're experiencing something new. And one day, because I get my kids to learn piano, and I told my 4-year-old son, you have to practice your piano. And then my son was like, oh, Mom, you know, it's not easy. If you think it's so easy, you should do it. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll do it. And I started taking piano lessons with my kids. And so we all practice together. And then I actually get to experience like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. It isn't that easy to move my leg and move my fingers and read the notes. So I started doing things with my kids, taking piano lessons. And then earlier this year, I started doing painting with my daughter. And I even started doing ballet. So this is a couple of things that I almost sometimes feel that I didn't get to do this as a child. And, you know, just I'm starting to grow up with them again. Yeah.
You're getting a second chance, and now you're exploring your artistic side.
Yeah, in a way, and it's actually quite very therapeutic. Yeah, I actually quite enjoy it. And throughout this crisis, we've had to do a lot of things together, like staying at home, because for all the children, the enrichment classes have been cancelled. So we've been spending time at home on Saturdays, like drawing and coloring and stuff like that. And to them, it's like I said, are you feeling okay about the virus situation? I was like, oh, it's great. We don't have to go to school, and you know, you're at home with us all the time, so much more now, and it's great. So to them, it's like a blessing. Yeah, like, you know, that we can spend more time together. So that's what's made me appreciate what's important.
Exactly. It's putting it all in perspective, right?
That's right. It's the kids that are doing that. They're putting it all in perspective because it's a simple view that they have, right?
Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful thing. Audrey, do you have something funny you'd like to share with us? I love to end our interviews with something silly, funny, crazy.
Yeah, I have, you know, I'm sure out of this whole experience, we all have funny stories. So, you know, in Singapore, I don't know if you guys have it over there, they call it social distancing. And what all the businesses had to do gradually was to implement certain social distancing measures and also, increasing hygiene, etc. So we've had to actually space all our machines like a meter apart, and people are very worried about like, okay, droplets, and you know, people wear masks when they come to the studio. And I had this one client who said, you know what, I think that we should wear gloves when we come for class. And she was very insistent, like, I think that we all share the same straps. I want to wear gloves as well. I was like, okay, sure. If you really feel that you need to, let's get you some gloves. So we got her these white cotton gloves. And I was like, firstly, I was like, do you want cotton gloves or just like like the disposable ones that, it's like a bit like latex, not really latex, I forget what it's called, but do you want those? They said, no, the white cotton ones are fine. I'm like, okay, sure. It's not really gonna block anything out, but okay. So we're halfway into our session and she's like dripping in perspiration. And suddenly she's got these gloves on and she goes, she wipes herself. And I'm like, no.
That's the point. Don't touch your face.
Yes, I don't touch your face. And the funny, we both burst out laughing because she started out the sessions like, I really want gloves. I want to feel like, my hands are protected and they're clean. And then because she was perspiring, she just used the gloves and she wiped all over her face. And we just both burst out laughing and realized what a silly situation we were in. And it was a good laugh.
That's good. That's one thing. We have to laugh now. So if we can find any joy, any comedy in this, we should. And there's certainly a lot of silly memes online about, coronavirus. There was one I saw with the dog on the sidewalk, like exhausted. And it said, I'm on my 6th walk today. What the heck is a corona? And it's just like tired of doing walks all the time, right? But it's good. Well, it was really fun meeting you, and hopefully I'll see you in real life soon when we have events again. But in the meantime, thanks for spending some time with us and coming to us all the way from Singapore, and I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me here. I'm so glad to be able to share a little bit of what's happening right here over with all of you. So stay safe, everybody, and we will all be together again. And thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Bye.